And something really interesting happened with it. Since starting this channel and doing the reading specifically for the channel and the collective, I'm getting some really weird like twin flame readings. But they're coming out in spreads and formats that I've never experienced before. But it's cool. So what happened is normally, you know, I'll kind of pull this 5-card spread up here with events and then, you know, the energy of like the masculine and then the feminine. And what happened is then I felt compelled that this was like a breaking point, like this was now. And so I pulled this other spread too, and look what happened. We've got the Emperor here and the Empress here. And as I started looking at these, it's what it is it's a whole, it's a couple things. It's like a personal inventory, like an emotional inventory of the masculine and the feminine and how they are responding to each other through different aspects. Yeah, so I want to go into that. I don't know if I'll pull, yeah, okay. So yeah, it's, like I said, it's never come out like this for me before. But you see the Emperor and the Empress in the same placements in each spread. Next to it, for the Empress, it's the Ten of Pentacles. And for the Emperor, it's the Lovers. I feel like this is perspectives, like the perspectives they each had. The Empress was looking here for a Ten of Pentacles. You know, she wanted that solid family foundation. I mean, she wants to progress things towards, you know, a serious commitment to marriage, to family. And this Emperor has been in more of a lover's energy. So essentially he's kind of more focused on the physical aspects of relationships, not necessarily the relationship with the divine feminine, but just relationships in general. And this is the energy she's in general, is that's what she's looking for with him or anyone else, is, you know, commitment, respect, foundation, family. I'm just gonna kind of move around on these. So when the Emperor gets in a reverse King of Cups energy, so essentially he's not quite as dramatically fit throwing as a reverse King of Wands, but this is an emotional kind of outburst. So this masculine has like emotional outbursts. I mean, that's all I can say. And the however that is coming out comes out as a betrayal to the feminine here. And this may have been a specific event of like this, you know, this masculine not being the King of Cups, not being like emotionally supportive, not being loving, not being there. And that was the betrayal to this feminine. The masculine has also been keeping his options open. I mean, again, he's in that lover's energy. So he's more focused on the physical. So he's going to be looking at a lot more physical things. He's not acknowledging that unique energy signature of the divine feminine, or he hasn't in the past. And that has left the feminine feeling in response left out in the cold. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel valued. They don't feel seen or recognized. That's another message in this Five of Pentacles card, is they're walking out in the dark, cold and alone, and nobody's even seeing them. So, which way should I go? So yeah, I think I'm gonna go this way. So the Emperor has been in this very single energy, regardless of whether or not he's in a relationship with the Divine Feminine or any third parties. He's still essentially acting single. He's still always looking at his options, and that is his energy that he's in, and that puts the Divine Feminine in a Queen of Swords energy, where she's gonna cut off that energy. I think partially though is one of the fears of the masculine is that he thinks, because he knows he feels differently, that he feels frankly something, anything for this Divine Feminine. That puts him in a like this fear energy of like I think he's going into like this, or he has been going into this freeze mode, because he's concerned that like then that's it, that's game over, that's marriage, that's everything, and that's just too big of a jump for him to go from the being single to just being married just like that. Whereas I think the Divine Feminine is feeling misunderstood, because she's not actually saying like that I want to be engaged, I want to be married, I want to be like whatever. That's not what a Divine Feminine does. She's saying like, I just wanted to go slow. I just wanted to go slow. And but I want steady, stable, consistent forward movement. Whereas the Divine Masculine here is in the Chariot energy, so he wants to rush things forward, or just drive off in a completely different direction. He doesn't know how to take it slow. That's what it is. He doesn't know how to take it slow. I mean, look at the contrast between the feminine here. You have the Hierophant on this side, Knight of Pentacles on this side. So this is traditional structure, institution, marriage, commitment. This is I just want to take baby steps, but I want it to be consistent. I want it to be moving forward, but I'm happy with a slow pace. I don't want a wedding ring. I just want you to be making these small offers to me. But he sees just like literally every aspect of that. He sees it as, well, you're asking me for everything. You're asking me for everything. And she's not. There's a big disconnect in that, in terms of what he thinks the feminine expects and what the feminine actually expects. But that's part of the problem here with this twin pair. He doesn't know this area in between single and married. He doesn't know it. That is just completely unexplored territory for him. Whereas I think this feminine has a lot more experience that like, no, like in any, serious committed relationship, you got to take things slow. You got to become friends. I just, need those small gestures that let me know that you're wanting to walk in this direction and move forward. So I think this masculine feels in some ways like he is giving a lot. He thinks that he is. But I think in reality, or well, in the feminine's perspective, she's just fundamentally disappointed that he can't just do this, and so he, anyway, okay, so yeah, she's ultimately disappointed, even though he feels like he's doing a lot. It's not that it's not enough for the feminine. It's just, it's not consistent. It's not stable. and it's not always forward. And that's her disappointment. So, you know, while the masculine, actually, there's such a disconnect. This almost seems to be the progression of time, that, you know, he wants to make this offer now. She's not interested. He wants to come together with the divine feminine, and now she's in the Two of Swords energy, and she's really not sure, but she just doesn't even want to look at it anymore. I think she's just disappointed. She's frustrated. So this divine masculine is going to be moving towards then the Knight of Cups. I think there is going to be an apology, or has been, but there's, I think that this feminine just still feels that sense of conflict with the masculine. I think there's been a lot that's happened in this situation, a lot of disappointments, a lot of this feminine, because this masculine is really just, he's in his head about what he thinks she wants. And so that's scaring him off. Like, basically he's put all of this in his head and then essentially rejected the feminine because he's like, well, I'm not ready to get married to this woman. Like, I know I like her on some ways, or something's different, but I can't get her out of my head. But I'm a bachelor, and I'm not going to be, jumping into getting married to her. But so he won't put in any. I think, or the energy that he is putting in isn't the right way. And I think that's, now we're coming back to that, is that essentially he gives an apology, but he doesn't, it's essentially not accepted. And it shows that he's then, that emotional withholding from him causes a death in this situation. Because not only the feminine is, she was in Queen of Swords energy. Now she's in King of Swords energy, which is just, I think the emotion, between the Queen and the King, I think that the emotion is sort of lost for her. She just knows she knows he's not capable of providing this. He just doesn't know how to do it, and he's not learning how to do it. And he's not, she could be patient with him if he could communicate all of this stuff that he's thinking and feeling. But I think that he doesn't even listen to himself, but much less he wouldn't communicate this to her. He's scared to. He's just holding back. So yeah, the divine feminine here is going to go actually into a King of Swords energy, and that puts him into a lot of grief. He's up at night, he's losing sleep, he's even more in his head about it. I think because it's at this point that he actually sees his counterpart, that he recognizes her as an empress. So the Eight of Swords for the feminine energy has, in contrast to it, the Two of Pentacles. So essentially the feminine feels that there's really no way out of this situation. I don't think she thinks that there's any possibility to heal it. I think she sort of is looking at this masculine and just saying, that is who he is right now. I think that before, the Empress actually saw him as being an Emperor energy, but he wasn't. And now that is what she actually does see. I think that is the death, is that she just realizes he's not in this energy yet where he's mature, communicative, in control of his thoughts, emotions, feelings, and able to plan and move forward responsibly. She's seeing that that's not him yet. And again, maybe he will become the Emperor, but maybe he won't. She's not seeing that he's doing the work right now, though. And so, unfortunately, the masculine, seeing that the feminine feels that way or is in that energy, he wants to go. I think right now he's considering going into another cycle of looking at his options, juggling, moving on. So the next card being Queen of Pentacles and the Justice for him. I think that he knows that there is going to be a balancing of scales here. And the Divine Feminine goes into the Queen of Pentacles energy. So she is focused on herself. She's focused on her resources. She's focused on her career. She's now gone into this energy that the masculine had, essentially. And she's in a state of patience for herself with that. And she knows that her, whatever is meant for her is going to work out for her. So the balancing of the scales, I think he feels that it's right that she walked away from him and that he leaves her alone. I think I think he actually feels like, I think he's guided at this point to understand that she's right, that he isn't in this energy. And that he can't come back until he is. Okay. Again, it's just really interesting for me. I had a reading yesterday, and it came out in something in a way that I've never seen for myself before. And this is another one. To me, it's really interesting though, because it kind of, it just emotionally works through those stages and events. Let's get some guidance for, the Divine Masculine, King of Pentacles. Eight of Wands. Wow. Ace of Cups. All right, I'll pull for the feminine, but I feel like that's a pretty clear message to me. Death. Nine of Cups. Page of Pentacles. For the masculine, it's essentially, this Divine Feminine is right now in this current moment in time. I believe she is in the Queen of Pentacles and Temperance energy, and so she's just focused on herself. What the guidance is for the masculine is that he needs to match that energy that the Divine Feminine is in right now. That is exactly what he needs to do for himself, is he needs to focus on himself. He needs to focus on his career and finances. He needs to focus on his own healing. And I hate to say it. The next piece of guidance is you better do this quickly, Divine Masculine. Because, well, I'll get to it in a second. Do this quickly, Divine Masculine, because you want to get to a point. Maybe you're not going to go through and be able to heal completely, right? Healing is a journey. It's a lifelong journey and process. Of rediscovering self-love and then being able to attract that love to yourself in multiple forms, whether it's relationship, abundance, physical abundance, whatever it may be. That's the point. That's where he needs to get to. He needs to focus on himself and do his own healing to do that. And he needs to do it quickly, because the Divine Feminine is very, very close here to a state of surrender. Death came out twice for her. She is transformative. She is at this level now in her journey where she is able to much more rapidly transmute and heal pain. So she processes her grief over situations, and then she moves forward. She's not going to stay in this stuck state or energy. And so that's why the Divine Masculine needs to actually be he needs to get on that path now. If you are Divine Masculine cross watching this, and that you can be a male or female, but if you have been in this energy that I described, and you, I'm not going to say know that you love this person, but that you know that you love this person, you need to get on your stuff now. Do shadow work. Do your healing. Focus on yourself. Stop playing with stop focusing on being single. That is what the Divine Masculine has been focusing on. Whether or not he's actually in relationships, his whole goal is to energetically stay single. So if he has someone, even if he has someone, he's not letting them in. He's not really letting them in, because he's just completely shut down and fearful of everything in between being single and being married. And definitely scared of being married. And you need to look at why. Divine Masculine, if figure out where that fear comes from. Why? I mean, is it something that you saw with your parents? Are you fundamentally afraid, someone's going to leave you? I mean, that's where your shadow work is. That's where you have to heal. You have to address those, find your fears around this situation and find the core of them, and then do the work to heal that. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry, that just popped out the world in between these two. This is amazing. Okay, so the Divine Feminine, the guidance is death, 9 of Cups, and Page of Pentacles. So the 9 of Cups in this situation for the feminine, I actually think that it's a card of wish fulfillment, but it can be also a card of overindulgence. I think that there's a message here to some degree. Just know that it's going to be okay. This death, I think the guidance is essentially surrender. Like, that's where she's already in a state where she's back in that Queen of Pentacles energy. Now she just needs to surrender. And essentially just know that her wish fulfillment is coming. It is coming. And she's going to start to see small pieces of that. And I think that's the guidance here for the Divine Feminine, is to look for these small signs that are headed your way that are going to reinforce that message of surrender and just understanding that fate is working for you. This divine feminine has been doing the work, really doing the work. And so I feel like she's been through these sorts of cycles before, but she's at a point of healing now where she just knows that if he's not in that Emperor energy, that she's not a match for him, and she needs to walk away and release it. And she'll do it. You guys are going to do that. So the world popping out here, I think that there's, the message that I'm getting from this is that they have a choice to have, this is already a death. It can be a rebirth, but the feminine's not going to go through this cycle again. She's done with the cycles. That's this message. She's done with the cycles. So if he needs more cycles, he's going to have to go and do that on his own, because she's not. So, but again, you've got to do it quickly. Just one more. Queen of Swords. I mean, that energy is all over the place for her. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, Five of Wands, that inner conflict. Justice again. Seven of Pentacles, a rebuilding. Ace of Wands. Judgment. Wow. Let's get some soulmates and separation cards. Messages from the Divine Masculine. One day, I believe we will be together again. I think that was part of it too. I think that because he doesn't know how to do this jump from single to married, he was like, it's too soon for me. I'm not finished dating. I'm not finished sowing my wild oats, having options, talking to lots of people. I'm not done doing that. So let me go and do all of that real, like, you know, while you wait, Divine Feminine. We've both changed a great deal. I fear you've moved on from me. I think that is true. I think that this masculine has absolutely, she's changed the way that he's seen the entire world. And that's how he knows that she's different. But this Divine Feminine knows how to heal. So yeah, she is moving quickly. I mean, the fact that this came out right on top of that Eight of Wands card as well, he is scared because he knows she knows how to do the work, and he doesn't yet. Oh. Honestly, it tears me up a little bit because I can feel that. I want to fight for this connection, but I just don't know how. I seek strength and courage. You guys, it is hard. This journey is hard. And even though, you know, if you're a twin flame and dealing with these sorts of cycles, they can really disappoint you. They can really hurt you, right? But that is what it is. That's exactly what I had said. You know, I want to fight for this connection. I just don't know how. I seek strength and courage. Yeah, he doesn't know how. He doesn't know how. And so part of, I'm sorry, you guys, but it's just, I'm feeling like all of that energy and from this Divine Masculine right now. And he's in a dark place. He just doesn't know how to do it. And he doesn't know how to get started. But he knows that he needs to do it quickly. So, you know, you guys already knew that. Okay, one more message. Sorry, guys. I mean, I'm feeling emotionally void without you. I think that this divine masculine has had a blocked, an unopened heart chakra, and you kind of got under his skin. You got under his skin. I mean, this guy, he might have been a player, but you know what I mean? You found a crack there somewhere, and he didn't realize how much you had gotten in until you walked away. And now he doesn't know how to process that, because again, he's always been closed off. He doesn't know how to do it. Okay, messages from the divine feminine to this masculine. Oh, every song I hear reminds me of you. I carry guilt for the way I mistreated you. Yeah, I mean, this feminine, it's not easy for her. You know, she's deep into that Queen of Swords energy. Now, you know, then she moved into the King of Swords energy. And now, you know, and each step is kind of less passionate. You know, I think when he got these harsh words from the Queen of Swords, he at least still kind of knew she cared, because she was upset. Then she got, you know, she got dispassionate and just cold. And then now she's just not even around. But that was very difficult for this divine feminine to do. But she did it because she knows, again, she's been healing. And she knows that's the way to show herself love, self-love, right? Is by walking away from situations where she's not being recognized, and she's not receiving, you know, reciprocity, forward movement. She's not going to be an option. She cares about herself too much to do that. This is not the way I wanted things to end. I wish I could go back in time. Yeah, I mean, yeah. One more. Hurting you was not the plan. She didn't see it ending this way. Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna pull two more cards. Oracle cards. For the divine masculine, family, survival, death, worship. I'm gonna read the book for that. And it says ancestors. For the divine feminine, oh God. Possible impossibility, freedom, traveler, inner dreams. Again, super interesting, because this card for the masculine is number 1. It's 10 for it's 10 for the feminine. And I think there's also a sense there too, right? 1s are beginnings, but 10s can be, you know, the closing of a cycle. So so that's what I was actually going to say at the beginning of this reading is, you know, not only is this about, you know, the emotional aspects of the events for the divine feminine and divine masculine, but additionally, what is about to happen here is the divine feminine. You know, I was about to say, and then I got corrected. I was about to say that I think that the divine feminine is shifting into the runner energy, and the divine masculine is shifting into the chaser energy. That is the choice of the cycle here, though. That's the message that I got. That's why the world came out, is because that is the choice. It's either to go into another runner chaser cycle where they're switched, or, and this is how the divine feminine has to lead in this, because she can either surrender or she can be the runner. So let me talk about that for just a second. I don't want to run this too long, because like I said, I've been having troubles uploading videos. But that's the message here is, you know, often you'll hear people say that the divine feminine leads in this journey, and she does, because by her doing the work and the masculine watching her, there's a lot of spying, right, in these twin flame, you know, connections. There's a lot of silently spying. But part of that is that the divine masculine, whether he wants to or not, he learns from watching the feminine. So he is going to make a choice based on her choice. If this Queen of Pentacles, if this divine feminine moves into a now runner energy where she's avoiding it, that means she's not doing the work upon release. She's not actually releasing, she's avoiding. If she goes into that chaser energy, she's going to avoid. She's going to say, I hate this guy. This guy's no good. He's a bum, you know, like whatever it is, right? Kind of just emotionally pushing that away, and then saying, I don't want him, and not dealing with it, because guess what? Your mind's always going to wander back to this person. If you don't fully surrender and release, the way to surrender and release is to forgive this. To essentially, and I think that's why you guys got this reading, so that you could see where he is in terms of his emotions, his emotions and abilities to communicate his emotions. He doesn't know how. I don't think that this person had good role models or you know, the family dynamic. I don't think open, honest communication was a priority. You know, and so he didn't see examples of how to do that. I don't think that he saw how healthy relationships build, and he doesn't know how to do that. This divine masculine is terrified. He's hurt. Every time I go to his side, I'm sorry, you guys. Okay. He is hurt. And so, but at the same time, you know, essentially just understand that, acknowledge it, forgive it, and then release it, and have faith that you are going to end up where you need to be on this journey. Again, if this person is your person, everything will work out as you guys have designed together. And you need to have that trust and faith in that. So focus on yourself, release. I've been getting a lot of those messages over the past couple days repeated for the divine feminine is release, 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 release. The reason this is so critical, there's a lot going on in the universe energies right now, and there's a lot trying to shift. And it's really important. I'm guided to say that it's really important for the collective right now, because there's a lot of people on the cusp of union. And it doesn't look like it. This doesn't look like pre-union, but it actually is. Because if this divine feminine does the work and really releases and surrenders, if they get into that state of surrender, they can avoid going through another cycle. And what union looks like, you know, well, that'll have to be another reading. That'll be my next reading. What does union look like? Okay, that's it. I'm sorry, you guys. God. One, for the divine masculine. I'm getting a lot right now of messages. Okay, how far down the line, ancestors, how far down the line do you know about your ancestors and the lives that they led? What pieces of the puzzles are in store for you to discover when you reclaim the history of your surviving line? We sit in classrooms as children and learn about the history of the world and its discoverers, explorers. I'm sorry, I'm already getting, though, this message. What it's saying is that's how he needs to do his shadow work. Everything that he needs to heal is in his family lineage. It's in his mother and his father and his grandmother and his grandfather and those family dynamics. Divine Masculine, because again, you've got to do this quickly. I don't want to panic you guys, but it's Oh Dark 30. You guys don't need to heal this quickly, but you need to get in that state of healing now. That's where his work is. Again, he didn't learn how to do or be what the Divine Feminine needs in order for him to be permanently in his life. Okay, the Divine Feminine. Oh, that's funny too. The book for card 1 is on page 10. Are you seeing how many synchronicities there are with this reading? It's crazy. It's a very, very strong message. Okay, 10. Astral travels, possible, impossibility, freedom, traveler, inner dreams. Astral traveling is the ability to separate your astral body or consciousness from your physical self or move through physical and spiritual planes of existence across space and time. For many people, astral traveling is something that occurred naturally and frequently as children when they slept, but diminished as they grew older. That was my experience as well. Through the ability of astral traveling, you can potentially witness events, see into the real world during sleep, and access psychic information beyond physical reality. Okay. There is time for great work and time for deep rest. While your spirit and mind may be saying one thing, you are ultimately governed by laws of your body's capability. Be careful not to burn the candle at both ends. I've been getting multiple messages about spiritual hygiene for the Divine Feminine, because with these situations, there's not a karmic that popped up in this, but often they exist, right? But so lots of those energies can be at play. Make sure that you are salt baths, sage, lighting white candles, meditate. I know that one's hard. But there's also a message to this Divine Feminine collective that this is a Divine Feminine who has done a lot of work. I think, the message I want to say is that go look also back to your childhood. Again, it's interesting. Look back to your childhood, because I think what you are going to find, Divine Feminine, is that there were actually, maybe you saw things, maybe, astral travel, you experienced that as a child. Maybe, I don't know, but all of those skills and abilities that you had as a child, you can pull those back as well. You can reclaim those. Divine Masculine needs to heal his past and his lineage. The Divine Feminine needs to reconnect with her spiritual past, with her divinity, her strengths, her abilities. And so meditate on that, Divine Feminine. Think about what gifts or abilities you want to reconnect with and explore, because I think that is part of your next stage of this process. Learning gifts so that you can help the collective. Okay, I think we'll stop there. Thank you guys so much. This was a really intense reading for me. But that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Please, again, help me build my channel. Like, comment, and subscribe if you could. Also, I will actually post something in the details. I'll post a link to my Etsy shop, because what I will do, I actually have an enchanted tea that I had made come up with years ago, but it actually assists with astral travel specifically. It's very effective. So I will try and get that posted on my Etsy shop. I'm still building it, but yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. I'll see you again. Also, actually, let me just pick this up because I just want to show you what happens in this in the shop space when while you guys are getting readings. All right, thanks guys. Bye.